Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about our 2024 goals. My husband and I like to sit down at the end of every year and kind of talk about what do we want next year to look like. So first I'm going to go over my 2023 vision board and goals. In case you didn't see my previous video where I briefly mentioned these, I'm going to go ahead and do it in this video so you can see my 2024 goals as well. So going into 2023, we had a very different idea of how the year was going to go. We thought, this is our year. We're going to build up our savings. It's going to be great. And it ended up just not working out the way we originally planned. However, we were still able to complete a lot of our savings goals for 2023, despite the challenges we went through. So I'm going to talk about those and then I'll show you my new 2024 vision board. This is pretty much on my vision board every single year. It's to build our emergency fund. We have been trying to build our emergency fund up for the past 2.5 years since we moved into our home. We bought our house 2.5 years ago. It's our forever home, and we saved up $20,000 in cash to buy this house. And that is the most savings we've ever had in our entire life. And we really want to get that savings back up. But every year brings new challenges, especially being a homeowner. If you own a home, you understand how expensive it can be just to maintain, as well as unexpected repairs that pop up. This year has been a perfect example of how hard it is to maintain a home and pay out of pocket and pay with cash and not go into debt. It's difficult. It's extremely difficult. So our goal this year was to build up our emergency fund to about $15,000 to $20,000. That did not happen. We actually ended up draining our emergency fund. We were at $7,500 at the end of 2022. And then going into like March, April-ish, maybe May of 2023, we were down to less than $1,000. So now I'm building that emergency fund back up. If you follow me here on YouTube and on Instagram, you already know I've been doing my $1,200 savings challenge, as well as my 1 month ahead binder, and then other savings challenges as well to try to build that emergency fund back up for us. So this goal we did not get to complete, but we did our best. And that's what I can say. Leaving 2023, I can say we did our best to build up our emergency fund while still having a decent quality of life and spending a little bit of money on things that we want to do, like vacations. Next is we wanted to get a dog. And I can't show you right now, but he's under my feet right now. He follows me everywhere. As you know, Sam, if you're new, our dog's name is Sam. We adopted him in January of this year, and he is the best thing that's happened to our family in the past 5 years. 5 years ago, my son was born. My youngest child was born. So we absolutely love our dog. So grateful that we were able to get him when we did, because I did lose my job back in March of this year. So had we not gotten Sam in January and we had waited and not adopted, I know for a fact I would not have felt comfortable bringing a dog into our financial situation with me having lost my job and having lost half my income. So great. I'm grateful that we had Sam before that happened, because I figured it out. Sam has his very own budget binder, as you guys know. So I've been budgeting for him all year long and so grateful for him. Very happy to spend the money on Sam. We absolutely adore him. So we did accomplish that goal of having a family dog. This goal here, my husband works for USPS. He's worked for USPS for years now. And his goal for this year, our goal was for him to get promoted to a full-time carrier position, which is the goal of every driver that starts off at USPS. This year, he did get promoted to a full-time carrier. So now instead of working 6 days a week, he works 5 days a week. He is a salaried employee with benefits. Also had a goal this year to buy a brand new couch. Now, we were actually going to save up for a couch like this, which ranges to $3,000 to $5,000. Needless to say, that did not happen this year, but we did buy a new couch. We bought a thrift store couch for $145. It is a sectional. It seats, I want to say it seats 8, 9. So I will say we went ahead and accomplished this goal. Years and years and years from now, I will feel better about investing into a nice couch, because right now our kids are young. we've already had graham crackers on the couch and spills on the couch, and it just wouldn't make sense financially for us to buy a super expensive couch right now, knowing that it's going to get stained, it's going to get jumped on and all that stuff. I don't want to stress about that. My kids are young. I don't want to constantly be getting on to them. So we're very happy. Needless to say, we're very happy with our couch. So this picture here is for landscaping. So we had a goal this year to rip out some bushes in our front yard and maybe take down a few of our trees. That did not happen this year for financial reasons. But I will say we did hire a landscaping company. They come out every other week now because it's fall, but in the summer they came out every week and they do the front and the backyard just to help us maintain it. We have a rather large front and backyard. It was extremely difficult for Blake and I to maintain it on our own. I finally convinced Blake to let us spend the money to hire people, because that was the holdup, was he didn't want to pay money to others when we could do it ourselves. But it takes 3 to 4 men about an hour to do what Blake and I, either just me or just Blake on his days off or my days off, in like 3 to 4 hours. Like, and usually stretched over days, because I can't do all that work in one day. Like, it's just not possible. I'd be out there all day. We did take care of that. We just didn't get to take care of some of the other things we wanted to do, but that's okay. We will get there within time. It's all right. This is beach vacation. I wanted to take the kids to the beach because we didn't go to the beach the year prior, or I think like the previous 2 summers, we weren't able to afford a beach trip. And by afford a beach trip, I mean taking PTO, which Blake and I haven't had. I don't have PTO through my job, and Blake didn't have PTO until he got promoted. So not only do we have to pay out of pocket to go to the beach and get the hotel or the beach house or whatever, and the food and paying for all that, we also had to save up to miss work. And we just weren't able to do that for 2 years. So last year, I really wanted to make it a point to take the kids to the beach. And we did do that this year. It was so much fun. They absolutely loved it. It was great. We got to take Sam with us too. It was a great family vacation. And we really didn't spend that much money because we used travel points for our Airbnb. And so we just paid for like gas and food and stuff like that. Okay, and then this goal here was to encapsulate our crawl space. So this is kind of a long story, and I will try to make it short. And this leads us into our 2024 goals, which I'm about to go over. But encapsulating our crawl space. So when we bought our house 2.5 years ago, we had 2 or 3 inspections done. Nobody told us about the fact that there was mold growing in our crawl space. They went down there, and no one told us that you have a ton of mold growing in your crawl space from moisture. So we live in the South, and if you're not familiar, there are crawl spaces. Not every house has them, and I realize other areas of the country aren't known for having crawl spaces, but here in the South, they're very normal. So they're kind of like a basement, except they're underneath your house. So we have this area underneath our house. It is huge. We have a huge crawl space. And because of rain and moisture, you have the risk of mold growing down there. And your crawl space is like the foundation of your house, right? So you definitely don't want mold or fungus growing. So when we moved in, we had an inspection done for pest control because we wanted to hire a pest control company. They went into the crawl space as part of their inspection, and they're the ones that told us that we had mold. And that was like a day or 2 after we closed on our house. It was before we even moved in. We didn't have anything in our house. So that was quite a shock to us. Anyways, the mold got treated by one of the companies that did an inspection. They did treat the wood so that the mold would not continue to grow, but we did have flooding in our crawl space. Every time it rained, it would flood, and that's what helped the moisture and the mold grow, because of the water combined with heat and humidity in the South. Not a good combination. So we had a company come out and install a French drain into our crawl space. So they dug up our crawl space and had a drain put in so that it pulls the water out from our crawl space and into the road, into the sewers. So that way there's not any more flooding going on. Well, that was the first part of our project. We actually drained almost $4,000 of our emergency fund to get that done because we didn't want to risk the mold coming back. So we had the French drain put in October of last year, so 1 year ago. And our goal in 2023 was to finish the process by getting the entire crawl space encapsulated. So that's when they go and they put up all of this waterproof. They make it look all pretty, and it's basically a waterproof area, and they put in a humidifier where basically there's no humidity and you aren't going to grow mold. And they come out and check it every year and make sure there's no mold and blah, blah, blah. So definitely was a goal to do that this year. But what we also realized when they were down there doing the crawl space was that our HVAC duct system is completely ruined. It's destroyed. Another thing that was missed by the inspectors, or ignored by the inspectors, I guess. We had a plan this year to save up to get our HVAC duct system completely redone. And so we went and got like several different estimates this time last year, so that in 2023 we could save up and get that taken care of. Well, unfortunately, that didn't happen. We were not able to save. I mean, we've been just barely getting by this year. I've been kind of paycheck to paycheck because I started my business, which is this part right here. I started my business, lost half my income. I've been trying to grow my business, all that good stuff. And then, our income has fluctuated. So it's just been a rough year. We were not able to do the HVAC duct system. So the encapsulation hasn't happened yet. So we still run the risk of mold coming back, even though we spent $4,000 on that French drain. So that will lead me to my 2024 vision board in a minute, but I'll go ahead and say start business. I was planning on starting my business at this time this year, at the end of 2023, but I ended up starting it back in March. So I'm so grateful I did. I love my business. I love creating the products that I create. So I will continue to grow my business in 2024. But let's go ahead and move on to my 2024 vision board. I just wanted y'all to get a good idea of what 2023 looked like in regards to our goals. Okay, so this is my 2024 vision board, and I'll start with what I left off on, which was our HVAC duct system. Our HVAC duct system has not been done yet, therefore our encapsulation can't be done. Blake and I have gone back and forth. How are we going to take care of this? We need to take care of this. We can't keep putting this off. My goal is to be financially free. It's to be financially stable. It's to have a consistent savings. It's to be able to cash flow projects, all these things, right? Of course, that's our goal. But we had to be honest with ourselves. Blake and I had to sit down and really be honest with ourselves. We've been trying to save all year long, and we have probably $1,000 that we were able to save this year. And that's with cash flowing a ton of other things, right? So we've cash flowed a ton of expenses. All right, I'm not including that in our savings, but actually putting money away and putting it aside for our emergency fund is around $1,000 right now. I don't want to get our emergency fund up to $5,000 and then immediately have to drain it for a new HVAC duct system. Our HVAC duct system, the lowest estimate we got was around $5,000. That was 1 year ago. Since a year ago, inflation has skyrocketed yet again. So if we get another inspection, I don't know if it's going to cost more than $5,000. Essentially, what I'm getting at is Blake and I have decided that the best possible thing for us to do is go into debt for the new HVAC duct system. And this was a really hard thing for me to accept, because obviously that's never a goal to go into debt. But like I said, we had to be realistic with ourselves. Are we going to keep putting this off for potentially years? Or are we going to go ahead and take care of it now and then work really, really hard to pay off the debt? Because I don't want us to have a $20,000 problem later on because mold has come back and now we have to address that and the HVAC duct system and the encapsulation, when we can just go ahead and take care of the HVAC duct system now, then finish up our encapsulation process, and then we're good to go. And then spend 2024 and potentially 2025 working to pay off that debt. So I haven't worked out logistics yet in regards to, are we going to put it on a credit card? Will the company work with us and let us do a finance plan? If so, at what interest rate? I haven't worked that out yet. That is something that I will document and share with you guys here on YouTube as well as on Instagram, I will like be documenting the journey of paying off debt, because we have not had debt since 2017. We paid off our car in 2017, and since then we have cash flowed everything, including a new car. It's hard on me to accept that we're going into debt, but it's what has to be done. We have to get it done. We have to get a new HVAC duct system put into our crawl space. This could also, I didn't mention this, but this could also affect the HVAC later on. So then on top of everything else, we would have to pay for a new HVAC system. So it's just best to go ahead and take care of it now, and that means going into debt. That's number one, and that's a big, huge update for you guys. Here, again, I have my emergency fund. We're going to continue building that. We're going to continue building up our emergency fund, and I'm going to continue doing my savings challenges. The important thing is not to give up when you feel like giving up. Here is focus groups, my side hustle. So I had started focus groups a few months ago, and I did a few of them, but then I kind of fell off. I lost both my grandparents. A bunch of other stuff was happening. So I stopped filling out screeners, and I've kind of fallen off from doing focus groups. But I would like to get back into that in 2024, and I've set a goal for myself to make $200 extra per month doing focus groups. And I'm also going to set a goal to fill out a certain number of screeners every day in order to hopefully qualify for my focus groups. So that's a goal of mine, is to try to make a little bit of extra money on the side to put towards our emergency fund or paying off some of our debt. This represents car maintenance. So we were really bad this year because I did have to cut out my car maintenance sinking fund at the beginning of the year when I lost my job. So because of that, I procrastinated oil changes, tire rotations, regular maintenance and upkeep with our cars. Now that I've added my car maintenance sinking fund back into our budget, I am prioritizing it. Going into 2024 is one of those non-negotiable sinking funds for me. If we had to cut our budget, we're going to cut in other areas. We are not going to cut the car maintenance sinking fund, because Blake and I need to be better about making sure our cars are getting serviced when they need to be serviced. Okay, down here, these are the more personal goals, okay? So these were financial up here. These are the more personal wellness, relationship goals. So we want to spend more time out in nature. We want to get outside more. We are a very homebody family. All of us are. We love being at home. We love being cuddled up on the couch and watching TV. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I do want us to spend more quality time together outside of the home and get the kids out, especially into nature more. Of course, I have like a little family walking their dog. I would like us to take family walks, just spend a little bit more time when the weather is nice outside together, because I feel like that's a great way for us to connect and bond with each other. And that kind of brings me to this here. This represents unplugging from social media. So that's a personal goal of mine. And I know Blake, he wants to try this as well. But I want to have a personal goal and boundary with my phone, especially when I'm with my kids. I've been working on this for years, and I've definitely gotten better at it throughout the years. For example, I deleted the TikTok app off of my phone completely. I haven't been on TikTok in like a year and a half. I did briefly start a TikTok to repost my business reels from Instagram onto my TikTok, but then I realized I was falling back into the habit of mindlessly scrolling TikTok. It's so bad for my mental health and for my ADHD that I deleted TikTok altogether. I haven't deleted my business page off there, but I haven't posted on there in weeks, and I'm not going to be posting on there. I said I would give it a try and see if I could manage, just uploading the post and then deleting the app off my phone. But after like a couple of weeks of doing that, I found myself scrolling TikTok. And when I'm on social media like that and mindlessly scrolling, I can disassociate for literally hours. And especially when I'm with my kids, when my kids say, "Mom, can you please put your phone down?" that literally shatters my whole heart. Like, it breaks my heart, because my kids should not have to ask me to do that. I should put my phone down when I'm with my kids, point blank, period. So that's a personal goal of mine. Disconnecting from social media, putting my phone in another room so that I'm not picking it up every 5 seconds, and to spend more quality time with my kids, more connection with my kids. Here is a personal goal of Blake's. This will also impact our finances, is dental work. Blake is my husband. He's a triplet. They were all born with enamel deficiencies, and Blake really needs to address some of the serious problems he has right now. Again, that's something that we've kind of put off because of finances. but I am going to look into the dental plans that he is now eligible for as a full-time carrier, and hope that some of the stuff will be covered by his dental insurance. So I'll keep you guys updated on that, but that's a personal goal for Blake. And then here we have a sweet couple working out together, stretching. So Blake and I, another personal and health/wellness goal for us is to spend 30 minutes a night together working out together. We wanted to get a gym membership, but we realized that is not realistic for our budget at this time, so that will not be happening. But work out at home, I'm going to get us some like yoga mats and some very inexpensive dumbbells, and we'll just spend 30 minutes watching a quick YouTube video and working out together every night. So that is a goal for us in 2024. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about today for my goals, please leave them down in the comments below. What is your 2024 goals? Either financial or personal or health-wise. What are your goals? I would love to hear from you guys. So leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye.